Y'all, I had the cutest little intro for Jay's video, and I don't know what happened to it. It's all muffled and everything, and I can't unmuffle it. So we're just gonna hop right into her video. And you're not going to see the normal introduction that I normally do. I know, I'm so sorry. But Jay's such a queen. I'm so excited for you guys to see her video. She answered all of my questions flawlessly, and I'm so glad that I got to interview her and share her with the world. Enjoy.
All right, let's run it back because I ran out of storage, so I had to delete some stuff, but we're back to our regular scheduled program. Welcome, everyone. Jay!
Hello. Hi.
So I have been working with Jay. No, let me not say working because we don't work together anymore, but I've known Jay for the last maybe 4 years or so, and I have just seen her grow into a beautiful person, and that's why I had to invite her here today to get her opinion of working in the industry. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being out here
Thank
today.
you for inviting me. I'm so excited.
First of all, how have you been?
Been good. Just working all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, you know the industry never stops.
Of course.
And in school right now, going for nursing. So fingers
Oh, and
crossed.
see, I didn't even ask you that before. I didn't know you were going for nursing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a
So,
lot of hard work.
It is.
I'm sure we all have a lot of hardworking nursing friends. So
No, yeah,
good luck
for
to
sure.
you.
Thank you.
I couldn't do it.
No.
But, you know, I just want you to be comfortable with this interview and honestly just be your true self.
Sweet.
Give your honest opinion. Let them know
vibing.
who you are behind the bar.
That girl.
So let's get started. You know, the first thing I really like to start with is leading people into how they have been behind a bar, their experiences. Where did you start?
So I've been in the restaurant industry probably since I was 17 or 18, serving. And then when I turned 18 is when I started working at Bahama Breeze.
So that's right. I forgot about that.
So
we both worked at Bahama Breeze.
Yep, we did. So I was there for a little bit, and that's like what kickstarted my bartending life. But you know, there it's not really bartending. All the batch drinks and like frozen drinks.
How do you feel about batch drinks? So say you're sitting at a bar and your bartender gives you a batch drink. Like you watch them walk over to a tap machine or a frozen machine. Well, a frozen's fine.
Yeah.
But a tap machine and hands you your drink. How are you feeling about that?
No. I feel like all cocktails need to be made per order or like by order. There should not be a batch of cocktail just sitting, separating. It doesn't taste the same.
Right. No,
the flavor
I agree.
profile completely changes.
Mm-hmm.
Hate batch drinks. Hate them. But yeah, so I started at Bahama Breeze, and then I went to a couple of different other places, but I wasn't really bartending there. And then I started at Topgolf when I was 20. And that was like my first bartending job. But that, obviously, we used jiggers the whole time. So even then, like learning the free pouring skills wasn't the best. And then I started working at Tommy's. I was at Topgolf for so long.
Yeah, you were. But okay, so how was that journey?
That was good. Started out as a bartender and then worked my way up, went to management, and then was just like, it's not for me. Not for me.
So were you ever a manager over the bar?
No, I was never actually a direct bar manager. I've always wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the one department that I would always want to be over, that and training. I got training, but bar just like speaks to me. I don't know what it is.
Because it's just, I don't know, the bar attracts certain people.
Just doing inventory, coming up with different cocktails to make, just the bar lifestyle, bar steps of service is better than like serving anything like that in the restaurant business.
How important do you think it was to have a bar or a bar manager that actually worked behind a bar?
I think it was crucial. You can't really direct a team behind a space that you've never really been behind. You don't know the full flow or the full functioning of it if you haven't been back there yourself. And I feel like there's nothing worse than having a manager hop behind the bar thinking that they're helping you and they're really just in the way.
No, we get that all the time, though.
And it's like,
Get back there and pour my beer.
Yeah.
Just pour the beer.
That's all I
need
want you to do. Don't come near any of the bottles. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because you're making me slower than you think.
So now you're at Tommy's.
Mhm.
How was that getting back behind a bar after managing for so long?
It's honestly good. I have like a different outlook
Mm-hmm.
on how I do service and things now because I kind of have my manager mindset still as far as delivering the good service and like good quality. But it's definitely just more relaxed, less stress-free. You don't really have to worry about anybody but you and your regulars or you and your guests back there.
Mhm.
You do have to worry about your team, obviously, but if you're working with people that can pull weight, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But it's just good vibes. You just go back there, make drinks, make sure you're laughing. Like there's a difference between a bartender and someone that can make drinks. I always say that. Anybody can make drinks, but not everybody can bartend.
So what do you mean? Like, go into more detail.
I could give somebody a recipe card and say, here's the measurements, make this drink out, shake it, strain it, whatever. But I can't put somebody behind the bar and have them interacting with the guests or knowing what to pay attention to. Where you see that person with a quarter of their beer left, I'm instantly going to get them one.
Mhm.
Versus somebody, they'll wait until the whole drink is empty. Oh, do you want another one?
Or not even come to them.
Right, or not even pay them any mind,
Mhm.
and then their drink's empty for 2 minutes. So I feel like bartending is like a skill that you learn. Making drinks is like, you can teach anybody that.
No, that makes total sense.
So that's what I feel. Yeah.
So when you're behind a bar, how are you interacting with guests? What makes you like such a good bartender?
Honestly, just always smiling, like not afraid to open up conversations to people. I'm a big eavesdropper bartender. I ear hustle on all the conversations, so I'll just jump right in. And sometimes
Like with your bar guests?
Yeah, and sometimes they'll give you a look like, damn, she all up in our business.
No, but they love that.
But then they love it because
yeah.
they're like, okay, I can interact with her. We have some common ground. Or even if you don't have common ground, like sports are my favorite. Obviously, I'm a Kansas City fan in Eagles territory, so they love to eat me up about that.
I don't do sports. I can't boo you, but I feel like somebody would boo you right now.
But it's just, you got to make sure you're a good vibe. Like, you're always positive back there. You don't want a bartender that looks miserable or like they hate their job. It's such close quarters of service that like you can tell when your bartender's having an off day.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you
can't.
Right. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it, to be honest.
So knowing what you're looking for as a bartender within yourself, how do you go to different bars and criticize them? What are some things that like really piss you off when you sit at a bar?
It's tough because I always love going to bars and telling them like, hey, I'm a bartender. Because that just gives your bartender a sense of relaxation.
I hate that.
I
wait till the end.
I don't want them to stress out. But then I started to notice that when I do that, their service starts to lack. Because they're like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I really do. Whenever I tell them that, they'll like pay less attention to me because they're like, oh, she gets it. Like, she's not that pressed. And they'll pay attention to everybody else. My drink will be empty for a little bit. And I just like sit and wait. So it's things like that that I hate.
Well, maybe I don't do. So I don't know. Because first of all, I don't tell people in the beginning that I'm a bartender.
No.
I let them treat me like a regular person.
Really? See, that's smart.
Yeah. So I guess when people sit at my bar and they tell me they're a bartender, I give them extra special service because I know I'm about to get a 50%
tip.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that has not been my experience. So I think I need to stop telling them that I'm in the industry. Like, they're very cool, like, still pay attention to me, but I notice that different things are lacking sometimes.
Yeah. How would you explain yourself behind a bar? Are you fun to work with? Are you the bitch to work with? Do people hate working with you?
At my job, I'm only one of 2 trainers. So I'm definitely the fun one. But I have my moments where I'm definitely super bitchy.
Okay.
When things are not done. We all have a job that we're there to do. We're all taking out of the same bucket. Especially on shift, if you're pulling from my bucket, there's 3 of us working. If 2 of us are busting our ass and you're just dilly-dallying around, I'm going to tell you to go home and then you're going to throw a temper tantrum. Sorry, but I'm making the money for us while you just sit there and lollygag. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I definitely have my moments where I get down their throats, but when everybody's doing what they need to do.
But I feel like that kind of trains them too. Like, oh, Jay's working.
Yeah.
I need to be
It's like
on my
whip
shit.
into shape and everything will be good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Okay, a lot of bars now have been doing this thing where they do a whole like math calculation to split the tips.
Yes.
Tommy's does that.
Tommy's does it.
They do.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Because I know I've done it at a couple bars and I absolutely hated it. But then there's other people who are like, I love it. It's perfect. It's amazing.
I don't know if I'm going to
Does
get
it have
in
its good
trouble
days
for
or bad
saying
days?
this, but like we got in trouble for not really following that.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that was an option.
We're supposed to, but it does work, I guess. Because I'm there normally the first closer.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there right at 4. We'll have like another person come in at 4, and then our service bar person is normally in at like 5 or 5:30. So if we did it regularly, the 5:30 person would still get basically the full cut because we wouldn't really close anybody out between 4 and 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So the 5 o'clock person is still getting the full split. So I think the hourly thing helps in that situation. Like everyone's making the money that they were supposed to. But at the same time, I feel like it's stupid. I feel like it's stupid. Like it shouldn't be that deep. Just split the bucket.
Yeah, no, I agree. For the people who have never worked in a bar where they do a math equation, can you explain it in the most simplistic way?
So basically at the end of the night, you count up all of the money that you made. And then our bar back gets 10% of that cash off the bat. So we had 200, whatever, they get 10% of that. And then whatever the remaining amount is, we'd have to write out everyone's hours and then divide the amount of money we had by the amount of hours that we all worked cumulatively. And that would come up with our hourly rate. So then you take the hourly rate, let's say it's $10.81 like it was the other day, and I would multiply it by the amount of hours that each person worked. So like $10.81 times, I normally work 7 hours, so I would get like $70-something that day. Right, horrible. The other person who worked 5 hours, they would get like $50. So that's how they break it down. It's a little confusing when you first see it, but
like it makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't, because I definitely did way more work than $70.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know why my blood just started boiling.
Yeah.
Because the last bar that you guys, I don't know, I think I talked about it last time. I haven't worked at a bar in a while. You know, I have my mobile bartending business that everyone has been spilling.
Teeny twist.
But, yes, teeny twist. But I haven't worked behind a bar conversing with people in I don't even know how long.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while for you,
it has been a while.
Wow.
And I miss it.
You're like, Simone is a queen behind the bar. If you guys saw Simone in her prime of bartending, you could not stop this girl. Rounds and rounds and rounds. Could bartend circles around anybody.
Like I can still do it.
Like
but
she
I can
still
do it. So
it's crazy. Crazy.
Thank you. That was so sweet.
Yes.
Thanks. I wasn't expecting that. As a bartender, what's your favorite drink to make?
Oh, I'm a big tequila girl. So any type of margarita, anything tequila related. I wish Tommy's had the smoker machine because I love getting like smoked margaritas and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll like make those for people with like a mezcal sometimes to give it that little bit of smokiness. You don't like mezcal? I love
Absolutely not.
A mezcal margarita.
It's just, it leaves a very harsh taste in the back of my throat.
Fair.
And I can't get rid of it all night. That's another reason why I don't drink scotch. But maybe I'm also just not at that age yet.
I feel like aren't you like a big old fashioned like whiskey?
Love old fashions.
Yeah,
love
I was
whiskey,
like, you're a big
love
whiskey
bourbon.
person.
Love a nice smoked old fashioned.
Yes.
So good.
Any smoked drink for me, really, or like barrel aged beverage.
Wait, can I tell you real quick? I'm so sorry to cut you off. Can I just tell you real quick? I went to this restaurant the other day and they made me an old fashioned. I ordered an old fashioned, just traditional.
Yeah.
It came back and there's like bubbles around the glass. And I'm like, huh, did she shake it? Okay, maybe she shook it. Whatever, I can get over that.
Mm-hmm.
I take a sip. She topped it with club soda.
An old
An old fashioned. And you know, I've heard of people doing that before because it's
No.
supposed to make it look like there's more in the glass.
Just leave it the way it is.
Just leave it the way it is.
If
I'm
someone
totally
is
fine by 2
ordering an
ounces.
old fashioned, they know they're getting about 2 ounces, maybe 2.5
and they know they're
ounces max.
supposed to sip on it.
Right.
Girl. She
I'd
asked
scream.
me if I wanted another drink after that. I said no. Give me the check, babe.
That might be
Give me
worse
the check,
than shaking the old fashioned.
It was.
Like-
That's why I said, like, I would have been fine if she shook it, but the club soda did it for me.
Yeah, you watered down
she
my
drew the
entire
line.
drink. That's the worst. When you get like a bad drink made, I'm like, who hired you?
Yeah.
Do you have experience? Because what would make you do that?
Honestly, I don't. Somebody told her that, and she ran with it.
Like, what did you do wrong in your past life that made you think club soda went in an old fashioned?
I'm so sorry to cut you off. You were talking about whiskeys.
Oh yeah, no, I love whiskeys. Like, I love old fashions as well. I like scotches. My dad's a big scotch guy, so we do Manhattans, all scotch on the rocks. I'm kind of an old man when it comes to drinks. But margs are like my number one. Anyone asks me what they want, marg.
Is that what you're ordering when you go out?
Always.
A marg?
No, honestly, when I go out, if it's like a nicer place, I'll do a marg.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of marg, probably like a spicy one, most likely. But if I'm going like out to like a club or something like that, it's just tequila soda. I don't have time to be like, this fancy drink or this type of shot. Tequila soda, lime, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
How are you with your bar guests? So I know bar guests come in all different shapes and sizes and personalities.
Mm-hmm.
How are you a chameleon to them?
I feel like I'm good at adapting. Like, you can't take things too serious behind a bar. You'll have like your couples that are there that only want to canoodle with each other and don't want to talk to you really other than getting your drink.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have your single guy that's there trying to flirt with you, telling you how beautiful you look behind the bar.
Of course.
And you just gotta, oh, thank you. Another Modelo? And call it a day. You'll have your single middle-aged Karens that don't even really like you as a bartender. They're just like, give me my Sauv Blanc and call it a day. So you just have to be versatile and be able to adapt to the different personalities that you have, because you're dealing with so many at one time. You're literally walking around the bar and you're going from the couple to the single guy to the whatever group of 4 to the group of 2 drunk girlfriends that just came back from the bachelorette weekend. Like, so you have to be able to adapt. And that's something that I always try to like keep in my mind. Nothing's ever that serious. Nothing people say is really going to bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take my load from work home with me. Not anymore, at least. So you just got to roll with it. Have fun.
No, but that's great to have that mindset. Would you say that's like your strongest?
I would probably
attribute?
say, yeah. I don't get upset anymore or get upset at things.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of roll with the punches. The same energy that they kind of give you, you have to give back. You got to be able to read the room. Don't push the boundary if you feel like they're not pushing back. If you like crack a little joke and you don't see a smile, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
Don't keep trying to be funny. They're not
feeling it.
Right, they're not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
So just know how to adapt to your audience is like the best thing.
Bar top or service bar?
Bar top. No. It's hard. You ever have like a really bad day
And you just don't feel like talking
and
to
you
anybody.
don't want to talk to anyone? Service is love.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Like, you just get to sit there, head down, in the trenches, just slamming drinks.
But what about the servers that are coming to you? How do you what? Wait. Okay.
Honestly, when I'm on service bar, the servers hate me. The servers hate me because they like to stand there and wait for their drink,
Mm-hmm.
and I will literally tell them to get on.
Yes.
And they're like, well, like, my drink's about to be done. And I'll literally go and put that bitch right at the end. Now it's last. I don't care. Get out of my face.
No way.
Yes.
I would hate you too.
I don't have time for that. Don't sit there. You literally just printed out your Coors Light. It's hanging out the printer and you're standing at the bar like, just waiting for my Coors Light. Babe, I don't even know what it is yet. It just says your name at the top. Give me a minute.
It's so true, but it's so just, why are we like that?
It happens. It just happened.
It does.
I would say service bar in that sense, but otherwise bar top.
Where are you stronger? Are you a good service bartender? Be honest.
Honestly, I feel like I am. I move pretty quickly,
Okay.
especially when I'm in the zone. I'm good at multitasking. I'm not one of those, oh, I have 4 beer tickets and I go get 1 beer at a time.
Okay.
Hate that.
Yeah.
You have 4 drafts, grab them all and come back. Please don't be that person. So I feel like I'm pretty fast at service, but I think my personality just shines more on bar top. I'm like a really vibrant personality or like bright personality. So I just feel like I attract people better there.
Have you ever had a shift where you're working with someone else and you're on service and they're on bar top and you're like, I definitely could have made more money?
Definitely. Definitely.
Did someone just pop into your mind?
Yeah. Yeah. We all have that person. that one person that you work with and you're like, if roles were reversed, we would have made so much more. Honestly, sometimes if I feel like that might be the case, I'll be like, you want to switch? And like,
and now you're making the server suffer. Yeah.
And I feel bad, but it's like, hey, I need to make my money first. I'm sorry. I don't make any money off these server tickets.
I need to do what's best for me.
Other than the tip out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets rough with some people. What you gonna do?
I know you mentioned earlier that you're a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you like training because you were a manager, or you just feel like you're like top notch behind the bar? Not everybody likes training.
I think the reason I'm kind of a control freak.
I've heard you say that once or twice.
Yeah, I am a bit of a control freak. So being a trainer, I'm kind of able to morph them into the coworker that I want to work with. I can teach them the things that I do, and obviously, or the way that I do them. Obviously, people will grow to learn things and do things in their own way. But if I'm the one teaching them the proper way to do it and the standard to do it, then I expect them to be like that. It's like build a team member, like Build-A-Bear, building my team member the way that I want them to be. I just don't trust that other people are training the way that I do. Is that messed up to say?
No, because I think the same way. You know, I was a trainer.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you were, right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I can train somebody and I will give them the detailed, in-depth run around every single thing. They will have no question at the end of it because they know where everything is. And then there's other trainers who will do the half-ass training and be like, oh, well, here's this. That's over there. We can see that later. And go over that tomorrow. And then these people come out of training and you're like, did you even fucking train? Like, what's going on? So I feel like I have some control over the standard of my team that I'm a part of.
No, that makes sense. Tell me a story that's happened behind a bar where you'll just never get out of your head. Whether it be good, bad, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
It's not really bad. It was just a really annoying night. I probably had like a group of 30 people come in, and every 5 minutes I was remaking 20 pineapple upside down shots, like over and over and over again. I literally handed them to the girl on the tray and was like, you can pass them out. Like, I don't have the time to do this. But that was probably my worst because it was like back to back. They would take the shots, all get a round of drinks, and then 2 minutes later, it was like, we need 25 more. And doing that in peak bar time when we're
it was
slammed.
Peak.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had like finally started getting busy. It was a Friday night. There were people standing at all the high tops around the bar, like reaching through people trying to get busy. Like, this was the craziest day I had seen at Tommy's. I'm not even joking. And she's like, 25 pineapple upside down shots. And my jaw literally went. And I had to like turn around
now?
to see if she was punking me. I was like, are you dead ass? I was like, nothing else? Like shots of Tito's? No. So that was the worst. I probably made 60 or 70 that night just of those alone.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like, oh no.
Honestly, I'm glad she knew what she wanted though, because if she would have been like, oh, what do you think we should do? It would have been Rumplemans, and then they would have been mad. Don't come to the bar and ask me, oh, bartender's choice shot, you're getting Rumplemans 99.9% of the time. I don't want to make your extra white tea gummy bear sour shot. I don't.
It's so funny because so many people say something that's just so astronomical that no one would ever order. I mean, like people order Rumple Mints, not every day, but they order Rumple Mints.
Right.
But it's funny because every time I ask that question, somebody just says something that's just, what?
I'm like,
I feel like I'm the only person that's ever answered that question truthfully.
I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it.
So let's go back in time.
Okay.
Remember when you were training? What's something that stuck out to you that your trainer did to make you the bartender that you are today? Or were you self-taught?
Honestly, just like being on my ass about things. I feel like you can still be nice when you're training somebody, but I feel like you need to have that little bit of strictness to you so that they kind of fall in line and are quick to pick things up. If you're just lackadaisical when you're training someone, a lot of my trainers were just hard on me. No, more ice. No, you didn't fill that to the line. No, you didn't shake it hard enough.
Oh,
no,
good.
You didn't strain it hard enough. And it's like, yeah, in the moment, you're like, damn, she's breathing down my throat. And obviously was still a kind person, but when it counts, that's what taught me the level and the time management and the pace that I have now.
And this is from Topgolf? Or no, Bahama Breeze?
Yeah, this is just from Bahama Breeze. I feel like Bahama Breeze, like I said, bartending at Bahama Breeze, it wasn't, I don't even really consider it bartending.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, but it was rare that you would get asked to make these super in-depth cocktails. It was either the batch drinks or the one of two drafts that we had on. So I feel like I learned a big bulk of my training and experience and stuff from Topgolf because I was there the longest. But being at Tommy's, like with the volume now, I feel like I've learned more within this time than I have at any of my other jobs. As far as
I can see that.
Yeah.
Especially with the volume. And,
yeah.
You know, they don't have tap, right? Cocktails on tap?
No. Nothing on tap. I think the only thing that we have batched is sangria, red and white sangria. That's
Which
it.
is,
but that's like, I would take that batch. I wouldn't look at anyone crazy for that.
And their sangrias, their red and white sangrias, strong as.
Yeah. You literally have 2 glasses, 3 glasses of that white sangria, and I'm like,
I had 2 one day after work, and I'm just like,
feeling
what is
warm.
In this? This is insane, but it was, worth my money and worth my time.
Yes, they are so good. Wednesdays, half price sangria.
Go visit Jack.
Shameless plug.
So, as a beautiful woman like yourself, have you ever had a man kind of cross that line behind a bar?
Oh yeah. Often.
Okay.
Often. I hate to say that. And I don't really like get creeped out by it anymore. I feel like younger me who didn't really have the confidence, so I didn't think that I was that attractive, and I was like a little immature. Didn't know how to deal with those situations, but now I just kind of like smile and wave or hit them with the, oh, thanks, whatever. And you have them like try to push, oh, what do you do? Where do you go? I'd love to take you out. But you can't mix the work and the pleasure. You can't. Especially not with like your creepy old customers. Like you keep them close enough so that way they give you that good tip.
Yes.
But you still keep them at arm's length where they're not going to like follow you to your car.
Yeah,
your shit.
For sure. You have to be safe.
Yeah. So I think that's my biggest thing. Keep them at arm's length. Some of them try, but or I'll lie and be like, I have a boyfriend, or tell them that you're lesbian. Maybe
I use the lesbian one.
Like maybe I shouldn't.
No, I've used the lesbian one.
Yeah,
it doesn't work as much anymore.
No, because now they're like, oh, that's hot. Like I join. I'm like, creeps. Creeps.
Now we have to come up with something new.
Yes. You guys can come up with a different way to redirect these men.
Give me more examples. Like, what are some excuses you've used behind a bar?
I've told them that I was lesbian. The one day I literally went to Walmart and bought like a fake wedding ring the one day because I had this guy that was like constantly coming in to try to see me. He was tipping me great money, but I was like, no, I'm married. I had to like lie. I showed him like pictures of my nieces and little cousins and was like, I have 3 kids. That was probably like the craziest extreme I went to. His
I've
name's
never-
Ray. He still comes in.
So where's your ring when he comes in?
It's at home. But the one day I was out with my best friend and we were at a different bar and he randomly pops up. Oh, what are you doing here? Their rounds are on me. Their rounds are on me. And like literally just forced his way into our like yap session. So it's like, you know, those people you're like, gotta love Ray. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Oh, I hope Ray doesn't find this interesting and want to watch it.
I was like, Ray might watch this. He probably follows me and I don't know. Hey, Ray.
What's up, Ray?
Ray and his Coors Lights. I'm cracking up.
So I think that's really all I have for you today.
That was so fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, I told you it would be.
Yeah, it was actually really fun.
Is there anything else you would want to say to your guests that we didn't touch base on?
Honestly, no. Drink responsibly, drink unresponsibly. Live your best life. Be a bartender. Bartending's the best job.
Wait, there is one more question. I just remembered it. Remember when I was thinking?
Yes. Is this the question?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Okay, so you're doing the whole bartending thing. You're also in school.
Mm-hmm.
How has being a bartender given you that leeway to focus on school?
Obviously, coming from management, it's kind of like that is your career. I really thought that I was going to be a manager for the rest of my life and just build my resume that way without a college degree. I became a manager without a college degree, so you can get those salary jobs and do those positions without it. But I think now having more control over my schedule, still at a corporate business, but less corporate than what Topgolf was. I'm more in control of my hours. I can request off when I need to, take days out of my availability when I need to, drop shifts. They're more likely to get picked up. So there's just way more flexibility in just being a bartender versus being a manager. Sometimes I do miss like having a team and like being a part of people's growth. But I think that's why I do training now, because I still kind of have that outlet to do that without being the head honcho and having to worry about 50 people.
Exactly.
So it's nice. It's definitely been good. I think everything happens for a reason. So this has been a great shift in life for me. Been thriving.
And the beautiful part of it all is that you're still young and you still have so many lives to live.
Yes.
So many lives. That was, one of your lives.
Yep. I was like, exactly. That was one chapter that defined me, and we carry on.
Yeah.
It leads me to the next.
Amazing. I love that for you.
Love that.
And the final question of the night.
Yes.
What is some advice you would give to a bartender who is just starting out or they are wanting to start out in the industry?
I would say if you're wanting to start out, just go for it. Don't be afraid. I know it's a very intimidating industry. It's an industry that if you've been in it, you've kind of been in it for a long time, especially behind the bar. A lot of bartending jobs are a lot of vets, so it can seem very intimidating to come into, especially when you have no experience. But just start out at whatever place you can, to be honest, that's willing to let you in with lesser experience, and just learn and be willing to take it all in. But don't be afraid to step back there. You're never going to know your full potential if you don't do it. Like, I started at Starbucks initially, and that's kind of what got me into bartending, because it's the same kind of thing. Being a barista, making espresso, whatever, shaking espressos, to now making espresso martinis. So just go for it, full send. Don't give up. It's not as hard as people make it seem. It's not as intimidating or as daunting as you may think it is. And then once you're back there and you get comfortable, you're never going to want to leave. Trust me. Seriously.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Yes. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out
Yes.
tonight.
I was like, literally tonight.
Guys, can you believe it's probably like 6 o'clock right now?
And it's pitch black, guys.
Pitch black. I'm so glad I have a light. This is insane.
So dark. So dark.
But I appreciate you for coming out and
amazing.
talking to my bar side manner babies.
Bar side manner.
I need to come up with a name.
Oh. Like a fan base name?
Yeah, fan base name.
Mm.
And I forgot to mention, this is the final episode of season 1. Thank you, Jay. Season 1 is done.
Yes.
It ended on a bang
We
with my
love
girl
that.
Jay.
Love to see it. Wouldn't want to do it any other way.
So stay tuned for the upcoming seasons. Of course, you're still going to see me posting.
Yes.
But for now, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever those YouTubers say.
Right, all the things.
I have so much that I want to share with you guys on this journey. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Peace out, y'all. Good night.
Bye. Yay! That was so fun.